Hello, Yoda. How are you, Yoda? Hey, Yoda the Jedi Possum. Hey, Yoda, how do you like the new headlight, eh? Half power. Low power. Really low power. The fact that I have the head torch upon me at the moment probably gives us the idea of what movie I was getting set up to make, eh? Part 1 of the line 1. Let us establish that we have a first permit, we have a second permit, we have a third permit. The third permit runs from the 11th of September at midnight to the 1st of October at midnight. Today being the 20th of September. By the way, note there's only 19 numbers difference, and I've got 2 of them, so there's only 17 permits being issued from that office between the first and the second. 71 to 52, and I've got 2 of them. So there's not many people burning off. Hey, but be that as it may, bulky but effective warbles perfect compliance with the provisions of the New South Wales Bushfire Act that say that the permit's not valid unless you're carrying it on your person. The reason this is interesting is it's 7:45 on the 20th of September. However, New South Wales fire permits in Glen Innes 7 and Tenterfield local government areas suspended from midnight tonight due to forecast high fire danger tomorrow. Contact for more information. So I have to have this fire successfully put to bed in 4 hours and 15 minutes. Otherwise, one will be considered to be in contravention of Section Poo Bum Wee Shit of the Thou Shalt Not Fuck Up Act. Apparently. Of course, we also have the miraculous glow-in-the-dark weather station on which to consult. And it says so it does. It says we have no wind at all, 20 degrees inside, come back up, 13.5 degrees outside, 51% humidity. Okay, now my personal standards for lighting up, I call it the rule of 20s. Don't light up if the humidity is below 20%. Don't light up if the temperature is over 20 degrees. Don't light up if the wind speed is over 20 kilometres an hour. And if you've got any idea of what the soil moisture profile is, don't light up if there's less than 20% soil moisture profile. So at the moment, even though fire control is convinced they're going to have a bad day tomorrow, they would have said I was allowed to burn on Sunday when it was 29 degrees here with 20% humidity and about a 6 or 8 kilometre an hour wind. I didn't dare. So this might be the last burn of this season, depending on how hot it gets, how fast, and whether I'm allowed to have another permit. This will be above ground burn 15. It'll be seasons burn 20. And it should bring me to 3,500 square metres because I'm on 3340 and I think this is going to be about 200 square metres. So there you go, and now you know. My version of the pilot's prayer. Pretty please, Creator, don't let me fuck this up. Time to go and think about laying wet lines. So that can wait for the celebration afterwards. You really are a well-mannered little critter. Time to collect the tools of the trade. There's not a whole lot of light here, so I think I'll lay the wet line, and I won't start recording until I'm about to actually start to burn. Might be wrong, but I think I should have recharged the wand before starting this. And because I want the head torch to last for 2 hours, I've got it on the lowest setting. That's the fancy rechargeable head torch. And the other one doesn't do much except right here, and I can see it with a human eye, but the camera cannot. So I'll bring you fellas back into it when I've got the drip torch going. Okay, 8:05. Not seeing any wind. So that's looking pretty good. Okay. And what wind I am seeing is blowing towards me, which is kind of good. Okay. The fuel load on the ground is so dry, you just got to keep a really, really small fire front. And I have got 10 litres of water in the watering can ready to go if I need it to, as well as 16 litres in a firefighting backpack over there on the trailer. But so far this is looking pretty good. Aren't wet lines a marvellous thing? They're really good for containing a small fire when there's bugger all wind. And in conditions as dry as these, it's the only time it's actually kind of even sort of safe for light knitting. Drip torch behaving a bit weird. Acting more like a bloody flamethrower. That's better. As far as I know, like I'm not qualified, I just listen to people who sound like they know more than I do and repeat what they say. And if that means I'm repeating ABC Radio National, that's how it goes. Just realised I'm talking with a camera on. Talking to myself. It's a thing that I do. Good thing I bet on an easterly wind, isn't it? Just tidy that edge up before I go anywhere. Like around the corner. Turning corners is always interesting. as much as anything else, you steer the fire by lighting a fire in front of where you want it to go. And using the low pressure zone from one fire to suck another fire into it. How's that? What do you reckon? Good burn? I'm pretty pleased with that. Feel like that's going pretty good. And it's 8:30. Put this out here in the already black zone. And stand back to show you what warbles hath wrought. And I'm going to say 200 square metres. Of shit I don't want to have to worry about in the middle of summer on a hot day. It's scary enough at 13 or 14 degrees and 0 wind and 50% humidity. By my calculations, you can call them allegations if you want to, because it's only what I've dreamt up from my observations. Fire behaviour in 2023 is 600% more extreme than it was right here 8 years ago. Because in 2.5 months I've now done 20 burns all up. This is the 15th burn on top of the ground, and I've done 3,500 square metres, not even 1 acre. 4,000 square metres to the acre. 100 acres, 40 hectares. Check it out. 8 years ago, in 3 months, I had 36 above ground fires, none of them in the pit, and I burnt 8.8 acres. Like 10 times as much country, and I burnt it in like 1.2 times the duration. So I'm going to say fire behaviour right here, right now, it's 600% more intense, more extreme, more scary than it used to be around here. Let's see what we got. If we go to, oops, wrong one. Top head torch, off, on. There we go. That's what the fire ground looks like with a huge lot in. This is where it got really kind of sort of hairy down here. But as you can see, I was lighting off a wet line. And if you're lighting off a wet line, you can do some almost amazing things. Once I got that end all sorted out, then it wasn't any great, supernatural trick to come up here and get this lot figured. Once I had that fire over there to suck this fire in, it wasn't going to be too bloody difficult, was it? And once I had all of that going, and I turned the corner, and you can probably see the wet line, by then I had a wet line on a pre-burnt area. So that's why I was so fast going along here, because it really didn't matter. The fire couldn't get back out here. As you can see by the smoke, it's a gradual, gentle little easterly. This is not quite, but almost at the stage where I can In fact, I reckon it is. It's at the stage where I can walk over to the hut and grab that drink, because I think Warbles has done well for fire number 20, 15 above ground, and who knows, it might be the last one I'm allowed to light this season. There we go, the drip torch is sputtering out. I'll leave the leaf blower here. I'll leave me water here. I'll take the empty bucket. When I come back, this thing will probably be out. I'll talk to you later on in the video. I'll pause it at this stage. See that bright cherry red? That's carbon monoxide sticking to my blood cells, making it go redder than normal red. Carbon monoxide sticks to your blood cells better than oxygen does. Funny that. Read a book by Robin Cook called Coma and you'll understand all about it. But yeah, standing in the smoke while I was turning the corners, I got a whiff. Goodly goodly. Cheap Scotch whiskey and Coca-Cola. Pretty much anything tastes good when you put in a little fire like that, so close to the termination of your permit, and nothing fucks up. Yeah. Oh, that was a good fire. I was pleased with that. Don't know whether it showed, but I've been putting that one off for about 10 days, 2 weeks. 5 kilometres and thinking, oh, what if I lose it? What if I lose it? Yeah, well, you saw how hard it was to get around that corner without losing it in 0 wind. And 51% humidity at 13.5 degrees with 0 wind from the west. And you just saw it, the wind was from the east. And the Bureau of the Meteorology says it's 8.4 degrees, feels like 5.9. Yeah, and it's actually bloody 13.5. And they say winds from the southwest at 6 kilometres an hour gusting to 7. Right, and it's actually from the east at about 1 kilometre an hour gusting to 3. What do I know? I just live here. And have 33 years of observations upon which to base my predictions. Because empirical science is still science, even with a statistical universe of 1, especially if you keep notes. And I have weather data written on the calendar going back 15, 20 years. Anyway, probably had enough for one night. I'll go up there and have a look. And by the time I get up there, there won't be enough light for this camera to show jack diddly squat. So let's just call that a success and chalk it up to job well done. Another episode in the annals of thou shalt not fuck uppery, because some things you cannot afford to fuck up. You just have to get it right, and that means preparation. I'd already cut down the trees. I'd already piled them up in 2 different heaps. I'd already cut a hand line. I already knew where the wet line was going to go. I'd already carted the buckets of water over there and pre-positioned them and got ready to lay it out all to the timeline. As soon as I got the text at lunchtime, I thought, well, I'm going to have to do it today in case I'm not allowed to do it until after the summer fires. So that's one more bunch of bushfire fuel burden that I don't have to worry about. And if you know anybody who's worried about it and wants to know how to start, well, from now on in, they're going to have a difficult time getting a permit because everybody else is shit scared. But if you can get a permit, and if your conditions are suitable, and if you are going to be sensible, you saw how little I started it, how long it took me to get it going. And then when I turned the first corner, I made sure that going down the first 90-degree tight end, I was keeping pace with the fire's advance into the fuel pile. So I didn't get stuck with the fire coming out the other side before I was ready to come around and close the gap on it. Yeah, that was a very good little burn. I was very pleased with that. And I had a lot of opportunity to go wrong, or potential to go wrong, and nothing fucked up. Warbles is very pleased with himself, especially as, guess what I spent today doing? Spending money. Look at all the trees that are not there anymore. I spent $350 an hour. Look at the trees that are not there. And look at the trees that are on the ground. This is really cute, trying to coordinate a head torch in telephoto with the camera in telephoto. But yeah. Today was one of those $1,800 days in 3 hours. And then tonight, I didn't realise that thing was still on. I failed to fuck up on the fireground, so yeah, I'm pretty happy. Wobbles on a lot to YouTube. Good night. Have a good one. Ciao.